Greetings and welcome. This is a VR for Joe at Four Soft Corners. He is celebrating his 100th video in almost 1 year on YouTube, which to me is an incredible pace. Joe can crank out the videos. In comparison, June 29th will be my 1 year anniversary of making videos, and this is only my 36th video. So Joe, I am impressed with your pace. Joe has a great channel, and he's a fellow set collector, and I really enjoy watching how his sets are coming together. And he is so close to finishing off that 1953 Topps baseball set, which I cannot wait for him to do. But he wants us to share a celebration card. So I am going to loosely interpret it, and I've got a couple cards I want to share. First one is, and I don't even know where I got this card, but it's a Fox Sports Midwest card showing the 2006 World Series. And what I think is just kind of cool on the back, it just shows the game, the date, and the score of the series. But I've been lucky enough to see the Cardinals in 4 World Series, winning 2 of them in 2006 and 2011. But it was the 2006 season that holds many more memories for me, so I thought this would be an appropriate card to show. The second I wanted to share was this 2000 Topps base of Mark McGwire. The image was McGwire's usual celebration after he touched home after a home run. The image is what I want to discuss for this VR, not necessarily the card. Mark McGwire in the 1998 season is the reason that I'm a Cardinals fan. When I was young and just getting into baseball, I didn't really have a favorite team. I mostly had favorite players that I really liked watching, but I couldn't really resonate with the teams they played for. One exception was Jim Thome, and I consider the Indians/Guardians as my American League team, but that's for another day. But I liked Hideo Nomo and Mike Piazza, but wasn't a Dodger fan. I did like McGwire, but he played for Oakland, and I'm a Midwesterner, so we don't get a lot of Oakland games. And same with Cal Ripken Jr., just we don't get a lot of Baltimore. Frank Thomas I was a fan of, but not a White Sox fan. And I guess I was slowly coming around as a Cardinals fan. My mom and dad took me to my first Cardinals game in 1995, and they played Barry Bonds and the Giants. But really, outside the 96 season, the Cardinals were not great in the 90s. And when I grew up, I'm a little young to have a great recollection of Ozzie Smith. I just kind of remember the end of his career. But as a kid, you kind of want to cheer for winning teams. It wasn't until July 31st, 1997, when the Cardinals traded T.J. Matthews, Eric Ludwig, and Blake Stein for Big Mac and his 34 home runs before I was all in. I still remember where I was when the trade was announced. Of course, it was 97, so it's before smartphones. And I was watching an independent league baseball game with my dad in the city where I lived. And the announcer came over the loudspeaker and announced the trade. McGwire would end up adding 24 home runs in a Cards uniform, finishing with 58 home runs in 1997. And the excitement would just build as the 98 season would approach. The 98 season was the most magical baseball season I have ever witnessed. I feel like it's kind of forgotten now, but at the beginning of the 98 season, it was supposed to be a chase between Ken Griffey Jr. and McGwire, who was supposed to break Roger Maris's record. And I may be remembering it incorrectly, but I feel like Major League Baseball even promoted the home run chase, and it felt like it was going to happen no matter what. It was just a matter of who. And then it wasn't even until June when Sammy Sosa entered the conversation. The whole season captivated me. I can't remember how many McGwire t-shirts I had. people who never cared about baseball would stop what they were doing to watch McGwire or Sosa bat. And I don't really want to turn the video into the 98 season, so I won't go too much farther. But the other card I want to share is the 85 Topps McGwire rookie. And this isn't a celebration card that was being asked for, but this was my original Grail card when I was a kid. I would go to card shows with my father, and I would see all these rookies, all the McGwire rookies, priced at something a 12-year-old couldn't afford, and I would just drool. And I would start looking through the dollar bins for any McGwire card I could find, but still always wanted this card. Now, my dad owned it, but at 12 years old, or even at my age of 37, it doesn't matter if your dad has it, I still wanted it for my collection. And about the time I could afford the card, I wasn't collecting as much. McGwire was associated with steroids, and I just didn't care. But I go into this because the celebration for me was when I bought the card. It was the 2001 National, the only National that I've attended with my dad, and probably the only one I ever will. I was strolling around on the last day that I was going to be there. I had money in my pocket that I wanted to burn before I left. I saw the McGwire rookie. I asked the dealer, how much, what's he have on it? And I don't discuss prices, so I said on YouTube. So I said thanks, and I thought about it for a few seconds because I literally walked 3 steps to my left to another dealer, and I saw this card, which was $75 cheaper. So I jumped on it. So my celebration is that I saved $75. I celebrated that my original Grail card, a card that I've been wanting for 25 years, that I used to dream of, was finally coming home with me. McGwire is the biggest reason I am a Cardinals fan, and the memories he brought me from 1997 to 2000 is something I'm sure I will always cherish. So Joe, congratulations again, and thank you for doing this contest, and thank you for always supporting my channel. Enjoy your collection.